Summer in Mara is an interesting title that has the gameplay of a farming sim mixed with the visuals and worlds similar to Wind Waker. With that being said, we have some mixed perceptions about this vibrant title. Hey guys, I'm Obi.
And I'm Sobi. And in today's video, we'll be taking a first look at and doing a review of Summer in Mara. So far, Summer in Mara at its core is a mix of a farming and crafting sim all bundled up in an adventure-style game. At the forefront, its simplistic nature is an easy game to understand, but the game has an interesting and hidden story that will play out as you make your journey through the seas of Mara. To explain this game, we will be talking about story, gameplay, and then wrapping up with visuals and sound.
Let's start off with the story. Summer in Mara starts out with a strange-looking woman sailing the high seas on a dark night. She stumbles upon a wrecked ship, and upon further examination of the wreckage, she finds a young child. She takes the child home and raises it as her own. She teaches the child that the world is sacred, and anything taken from the world should be replaced. Eventually, she will teach the child how to fend for herself, and about the mysterious doorway that is located on her home island. Placed upon the sealed door are various lights, and she tells the adolescent girl that when the lights are extinguished, the world will be in grave danger. As you continue to play, there will be a bit of a jump in time, and one day those luminescent stones that mark the door will extinguish, and it's up to Koa, the young character that you play as, to make your journey out into the world and figure out just what's happening. So we try to give you just enough information to explain the motivation for the game without actually spoiling anything. Overall, we find that the story is an interesting one, and it's the biggest catalyst to keep us pushing through this colorful title. Typically, you will not find this approach to storytelling in something like a farming sim, and it's a nice change of style when compared to similar titles. You will be hit with some heartfelt moments as you dive deeper into this intriguing title. While you progress, you will watch Koa grow as a person, and it's really easy to get a grip on her personality. Most of the storytelling will be delivered through text or hand-drawn animations.
Let's move on to gameplay. Gameplay is pretty much what you would expect from any kind of farming or crafting sim, but with a stylized spin. You plant and grow trees, crops, and work with livestock. The farming is simple enough. Plant, water, and it will grow in 2 to 6 days time depending on the crop. We do like that they kept this simple, as it doesn't feel like it bogs the game down too much, with planting and then having to wait for your various crops to grow. You will want to keep your eyes peeled for already grown crops on the various islands, as this just might save you time in the future and overall progression through the story. The same goes for materials such as stone, copper, and other valuable metals. We did find that the resources on the island, such as trees, while at first seem to be bountiful, can become scarce rather quickly, which drives home what Koa is trying to be taught throughout the story. With a wide variety of crops to grow, it is nice they added in various trees to be grown as well. Pine trees for overall wood purposes, apples, oranges, and cherries to name just a few. The game constantly throws you new cooking and crafting recipes, as well as new crops to sow in your fields. While you are tending to your crops and gathering resources, it is important to note that this game does have a stamina system similar to that one in Stardew Valley. Stamina is depleted by performing tasks and replenished with eating or simply sleeping to the next day in your bed. We did find that your stamina is depleted by running across the various islands you will visit in this game. While this isn't a deal breaker, it makes moving your way from area to area early on rather slow without the use of sprinting. While we do enjoy the narrative portions of this title, the game relies heavily on fetch quests, and this can get a little bit redundant. There are over 300 quests in Summer in Mara, and only 100 of these focus on the main story. That being said, this slows down the story progression and can get in the way. While moving through the narrative, you will be given access to upgrades for your tools, which gives you a larger variety of things you can do on your island. Certain materials cannot be crafted, and you will need to purchase these from your local vendors. Sailing will be your core of transportation, and you will unlock different map segments as you play through the game. The overall map is pretty large, and each area feels unique and offers different resources such as the various fishing spots. The sailing mechanic feels a little overly animated, but it is still satisfying. There are some diving minigames that are simplistic in design but are a small, enjoyable distraction. The more we delve into this world, the more slightly addictive it becomes as you speak to and learn the different personalities of the various inhabitants of Mara. Each new main NPC you encounter feels completely fresh and never feels like cookie-cutter clones. We did feel that the character animations when running are a little too fast when starting, but as we played, this kind of grew on us, and the same goes for how high Koa can jump,
which pushes us to visuals and sound. The visual design in Summer of Mara is quite enchanting. The cell shading is simplistic in design, but it's very pleasing and easy on the eyes. The color definitely pops at times and can be very relaxing. During the story portions, you will have some hand-drawn animation sequences, and we generally appreciate the artistry. We do wish these sequences were more abundant, as most of these will happen early on. There are some small visual design choices that we feel need a slight facelift. Movement to water, such as large swells in the ocean, and running water in streams are some examples. The NPCs feel mostly unique to this title, and it's refreshing to see something that feels new. We are extremely fond of the soundtrack with its upbeat tones and its occasionally emotional scores. We do wish that there were some more sounds to be added to this title, as the sound of footsteps or splashing when entering water are completely absent. Summer in Mara feels similar to other games we've played before, but does things in a unique way. While there were a few hiccups along the way when it comes to gameplay, the overall narrative helps to drive this title home. The visual design is very appealing, but again needs a few tweaks for immersive quality. We can honestly say that without a doubt, this is a game to look into. The developers are listening very closely to their community and have already added some quality of life changes to make the gameplay better. Originally, in order to craft or cook, you would have to go to your home island, but after some feedback from the players, the devs have already made changes so that way you can now craft at specific stations scattered around the world. The more we play this title, the more addictive it becomes, scouring every nook and cranny for new resources. Koa as a character is very intriguing, and it's interesting to see her grow as a person as you progress through the narrative. If you enjoy the genre of gaming or looking for a change of pace, then this game might just be for you. If not, you may want to steer clear.
Well guys, that's all we have for this review of Summer in Mara. Before we wrap things up, we did want to mention that you can join us on Twitter, Facebook, and Discord by clicking the links down in the description.
This is Obi.
This is Sobi.
Signing out.
See you guys next time.
Marinera que guardes la mar, marinera recorda'm la llar, qui aferma el meu rumb, bufen els vents de marà.